Last month was the Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And the purpose of the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month is to recognize the contributions of Asian Americans and other Americans. May 31st is the last day of the month of May. Hence the last day of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Ben Shapiro put out this clip about this very popular band, K-pop supergroup, BTS.
We have to distract you, so we're going to talk about everything except for the economy, including anti-Asian hate. So the Biden administration, when they're truly desperate, they bring in the influencers.
They were there the last day of the month of the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Today is the last day of the AANHPI Heritage Month. We joined the White House to stand with the AANHPI community and to celebrate. We were devastated by the recent surge of hate crimes, including Asian American hate crimes. To put a stop on this and support the cause, we'd like to take this opportunity to voice ourselves once again. We are here today thanks to our army, our fans worldwide, who have different nationalities and cultures and use different languages. We are truly and always grateful. We still feel surprised that music created by South Korean artists reaches so many people around the world, transcending languages and cultural barriers. We believe music is always an amazing and wonderful unifier of all things. It's not wrong to be different. I think equality begins when we open up and embrace all of our differences.
I don't see anything wrong with that. When the president invites anyone to the White House, it's always PR. Sort of like when cops take pictures with little black kids or throw the football with them, and it just so happens to be videotaped.
We hear about negative actions caught on camera, not this time.
Ron, it happened on a block that had recently been cleared of drug activity. 2 officers assigned to make sure the drug dealers don't return, but instead of just patrolling in their vehicle, those cops picked up a football. The video shows 2 Chicago police officers playing with a group of boys, one tossing a football with the kids, the other, Officer Phil Strazzanti, giving a boy his intercom.
We really is having fun with the police.
It's actually nice to slow down, get out of our cars, talk to the parents, to the kids. There are a lot of smart kids out here, a lot of good kids.
The officer in that video is Phil Strazzanti. According to the Chicago Reporter website, Phil Strazzanti has raked up a lot of excessive force complaints. Excessive force complaints that cost Chicago taxpayers up to $31,000 in settlements. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but at the same time that Phil Strazzanti was racking up excessive force complaints, it was about the same time that this heartwarming video of him playing football with the little black kids went viral. This is not just the Chicago Police Department, it's also presidents. My problem with Ben Shapiro is Ben knows damn well that Donald Trump played PR just as much as Joe Biden plays PR. Joe Biden brought the BTS group to the White House in order to score political points. Donald Trump brought various black celebrities to the White House for the same reasons. Why else would Donald Trump have Jim Brown, Steve Harvey, and Kanye West at the White House? Ben Shapiro has no problem calling it out when it's Joe Biden, but he's quiet when it's Donald Trump. What I'm saying about Ben Shapiro is that it was very obvious that Donald Trump did the same thing. Oh, you want us to believe, Ben, that Donald Trump has some type of affinity for the Trump sisters? The Stump for Trump sisters are actually friends with Donald Trump? I think you're more likely to catch Shannon Sharp with a black woman than you are to catch Donald Trump hanging out with those 2 wingbats. You know, this is the game that's played. But of course, leave it to Ben Shapiro, the race-peddling, race-hustling asshole, to try to make this about black people.
Other things not discussed by K-pop supergroup BTS. Anti-Asian hate in the United States is disproportionately black on Asian. It is not white people who are hating on Asian people. It is disproportionately black on Asian, particularly in America's major cities like New York. That was not discussed at all. The reason it wasn't discussed is because it violates the intersectional philosophy of this administration. Instead, it's America, broad writ, has an anti-Asian hate problem, et cetera, et cetera.
Bullshit! Historically speaking, Ben, when did black people get the planes? Yeah, you know, to drop the bombs on the Asians. If I remember correctly, that was by a white president in a mostly white country. By a mostly white Congress, back when you had to vote to go to war. What Ben wants us to do is focus on certain mentally deficient assholes in isolated incidents in New York City. I looked at the data. The numbers of Asians being beat up is trumped by the number of black people being beat up. And don't get me twisted, man. This is one race I don't want to win. If anybody's been beating up on and hurting Asians, it's white people. When was the last time we overthrew their governments, toppled their leaders, and fucked up their currency? We didn't invent the phrase Kung Flu. It's not one we could take credit for, nor would we want to. Ben Shapiro's entire segment is fabricated just to insinuate that black people are hurting all the Asian people. Do you really want to have a conversation about how America pits black people against every other minority in America? Plays them against us. Gives them loans. Gives them opportunities in commerce, business opportunities. And then looks at us and says, hey, why aren't you doing as good as them? Meanwhile, they don't give us the loans at the same rate. And the Asian folks not understanding what's happening because they don't have enough 10 Black shows on telling Asian Americans how Black America's been dogged by the government, how these policies systemically, intentionally set us back so far. And then they bring in Asians and say, see how great the Asians are doing? Well, then maybe Asians would understand where the animosity comes from. But all they feel is negative vibe. So part of the reason why we have any problems, and I'm not even conceding that there's a problem, because I have not seen the data that suggests this, okay? Not gonna give you that. But I will say, if it does exist, I would suggest that it has something to do with the way America has treated African Americans and how they played us against one another, and the lack of telling that story effectively so that other minorities know the game, the hustle that is in, and that black people are the victims of this shit, not the perpetrators. Last time I checked, black Americans did not drop napalm on Asian countries, nor did we drop nuclear weapons. Ben Shapiro. See, it's easy to debunk and rebuttal Ben Shapiro. What you should never ever do is kiss his ass to get views. Hey, Blackie, stop kissing Ben Shapiro's ass to get views. You can kick his short ass. Instead, take it from me, it's more fun.